We're live.
Is that true? Are we live, Remsen? We're flashing. Where's the music? No music. Say, we're back. Perfect. Welcome back.
Live?
Were we really live on that?
Yeah.
Is that true?
On what I said?
Oh,
no.
God.
No, it was after.
All right, turn it off. God, no.
What just happened?
Remsen, I love you, but God damn, I miss Cody.
They've never done this.
I'm kidding, Remsen. I'm
Never
kidding.
done this.
I know they've never done it before.
Poor Adam
No.
yesterday, same
but
way.
you're not kidding.
Well, I miss Cody, but I'm not shitting on Remsen. It's his first time doing it, but
you're not
we're sitting
kidding.
there talking about.
I feel like we need a contingency plan the next time this happens. Like Cody needs to maybe semi-train somebody else.
Right, exactly, because of panic. Because the thing is, to Remsen's credit, beforehand, he goes, it's like, all right, I'll let you guys know. I'll flip the light on. Which we should have prepped and said, well, just play the music. Say, okay, guys, we're going live right now, because that's usually what Cody does. But how the hell would he know that?
Yep.
100%, though. I don't remember whether it was Kate or Roka the other day who said this is Cody's job security. The fact that nobody knows how to do.
Yeah.
Oh, was it Makuga who said
I think
it?
we all.
Maybe a conversation.
I think we all concurred.
The fact that nobody can do it is so good for him.
It's like that old clunky car that only you can how to steer it.
Yes.
You know how to make it move to get it to start.
It's the locker jam. It's the Fawn's locker
is.
jam. You can
It's
be the
true.
one that can hit it.
You can tell.
Nobody's stealing that
I
car.
kid you, Remsen. I like Remsen very much. He's a
I
nice
do
person.
too.
Also,
Cody a lot.
were you good the first time you had sex?
What's that?
Were you good the first time you had sex? Just let him be.
I know it's true. Hey,
You know what I
but
mean?
I'd like to say yes.
I got to be honest. That was legendary.
Roxy was. She's like,
No, it's not that I was good. It's that I don't know if the analogy completely applies here because, like, the only person you're affecting if you're not good is the one you're having sex with, as opposed to
Right.
here where we've got like thousands of people listening.
And bits and pieces.
And
True,
I was
but
not
I'm just saying
talking
it's
crap
something-
right before the show started.
We weren't. But listen, we're back.
Sort of.
Some of us are back. It is Collider Live. It is Tuesday. And to let everybody know, today's show, because of the lack of crew, today's show is also going to be an hour. Don't worry, it's
You
not
seem
going to
so
be
excited, Kristian.
that it's an hour. No, I
was a joke. You did not seem happy.
I wasn't happy about it. And when Roka, who's taking over Riley's position because Riley's stranded, and we will definitely get to that in just a second. But Roka texted me last night and he said they need it to be an hour because we don't have the crew to do it. And my initial, I was like, here we go. Here's the start of the 1 hour show. And then I'm like, stop being a douche. I thought to myself, I'm like, because the thing is, Remsen's only here. Adam's only here. They don't know how to do the show. They have 1,000 other shows they have to do. Dennis is running the whole thing. So you know what? We just do an hour and we relax.
We have no producer in the room right now. Where's Roka?
I don't know where he is. He said he was going to start doing this. He's
It's
like, I'll
fine.
be
He's
on.
got headphones on.
He
He
doesn't
goes
know
in his own world. Well, listen, we got an hour. We can talk about we can kick it.
We
It's
can do
fine.
everything.
If
But
you
let's-
need help,
Can
I'll
you
run out.
Kick it.
Yes,
So
you can.
Josh is here, Roxy is here,
That's true.
and yesterday's co-host Kate Mulligan is back. Hello,
what?
Kate. 2 days in a
I'm the
row.
only one that gets applause. I'm going to clap for all of you.
thank you.
Thank you,
And
guys.
it's like we clap for each other enough.
Yeah.
It's funny because what's great about it is that you, Dorina, and Kate are easily the most professional on this show, and I'll tell you why.
Thank you so much.
Including over myself, because they all listen to the show when they're not on it, and we're so goddamn maniacal and egotistical. We're like, we're not on it.
No.
Not listening to it.
Well-
Although I did listen to it yesterday.
Can I compliment myself for a second?
Sure, why not?
I
That's
think
new.
I think I set that standard a little bit because Dorina was not listening at first, and
Right.
then when I was listening, she was like, "Uh-oh, gotta step it up." And
She
then,
also likes to listen to yell at us through her screen.
Yeah, true.
That's where you are like legit a fan of the show.
So then Dorina started listening, and then Kate just you talk about being a fan. Kate just started being a fan of it too. I don't think it has anything to do with her wanting to be professional. I think it's just like she just wants to listen to the show.
Do you
which
enjoy
is
listening
great.
to it?
I
Dana?
do enjoy listening to
Yeah.
it. Well, it's also just something like I knew you for so many years. I knew it was this thing you did. I'd been like when Shmo started, but like then being like, you want to come on the podcast? I'm like, I better fucking figure this out with this.
Yeah.
So I started listening, but then like going to the free for all. Now I'm like, oh, I am deep in this. Like I love.
You had
this
a lot of
stuff.
fun at the free for all. It was
Oh my
cool.
God.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so much fun.
But we had a lot of fun at the live event. Crazy, 1,000 people there. We won't get into you and I have to have a lot of words, by the way.
I can't believe that you do this. Where you're like, but we can't talk about it. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Here's the reason why
It's
we
called a
can't.
tease, Roxy.
Yeah, but no,
Get
but
the
here's the
fans
reason why we
excited.
can't talk about it because the
Professional.
match between the Odd Couple and Who's the Boss, it went up for patrons to yesterday, and for the $2 and up patrons, and it'll be for the $1 patrons and up today, and we'll be live on Thursday. But when it airs on Thursday, on Friday, I thought, well, you're not going to be here Friday, so next Monday. next Monday, you and I are going to have some words.
This is a legitimate week, Kristian.
Yeah, but you did some stuff. And I know that you're very proud of yourself, but we're going to talk about it.
It's not even that I'm proud of myself. It's that I don't understand why everybody is so
up in arms.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll have. Well, I know that Riley's going to talk to you about some stuff too.
As a fan who was sitting in the crowd, I watched that match from the crowd. I went and sat with the crowd, which was a blast, and it was pretty awesome. To watch.
The whole place in general erupted.
Yeah.
Can't talk about the Star Wars match yet because we can say there's a championship match. But Collider will actually air the 5-way that we shot from Celebration, and that'll be on Wednesday. But I can say that the energy in that room at Star Wars Celebration for that match was awesome. There were I think 500 people in that room. They turned away, I think 300 to 400 people, which was
really
nuts.
cool. Being there too.
Which was cool, and it was.
need a bigger room next year.
Well, that was the thing.
In Anaheim.
It is in Anaheim. I knew it was going to be in Anaheim.
Wait, so it's
How'd you
back-to-back
know?
years? Don't they alternate
back to
years?
back 2020 Anaheim.
Well, so Celebration, it was every year, but
Sure.
this year was the first time that they had skipped a year.
Because there was no new movie last year?
No, I think it was just because because Chicago and London just kind of overwhelmed them. They had that team, even though it's Lucasfilm, the events team isn't as big as you think it is. It's fairly small, and they were
It's like this crew.
Yeah, we ran. So I can tell you what, I know the people who put on the Celebration. They are legendary. We would quit after a half an hour.
We got this.
Yeah, it's just been us hammering at the bar. Which is what we did.
It's
Pretty much,
fine,
yeah.
okay? I got it.
Lots of fans, lots of great fans
Awesome.
at this
Really cool.
thing. It was really cool. Met a lot of people. It was doing both the Celebration and the Schmodown was a cool experience because this is something that Thursday night, and I was talking to Kate about this. We got there, and someone had reached out to me. We went on WGN.
Yeah.
And it was myself, Ben Bateman, and Riley.
Oh, so you took all of one team?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were with me. Where were you on Thursday?
There.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. I changed my flight.
Where was Draco?
He was there.
No, he was not.
Yes,
On
he was.
Thursday night?
Snyder was not there. And Draco got it on Wednesday.
Right. Okay, well, one of them weren't there, so it wouldn't work. So
Can I come?
we went there on Thursday night. The guy wanted us on for like 10 minutes because apparently the Athenaeum Theater.
Athenaeum. We just did
Just did it again.
this.
The Athenaeum.
In your defense, it is pronounced strange. It does look
It's
like
right.
Athenaeum.
The Athenaeum Theater.
I'm still going to call it Athenaeum.
Yeah, go
Same.
for it.
We sold it out, and they reached out to us because apparently it's hard to do, and as a Chicago native, that's true.
That is true.
Wow.
I mean, they used to do like the Chicago Improv Festival would be there. Maybe still is. I haven't been there in so many years, but
You know what
yeah,
the-
it was.
yeah.
I don't think it was ever sold out.
That's crazy.
Because you would think that it wouldn't be that big of a deal if it doesn't sell out because
Sold
it's a
out.
whole different level. So you can still make it look like a packed house.
Right, you wouldn't have to shoot that.
Yes.
all
So
the way
really,
up
if
there.
you sell 500 tickets, you're doing pretty well there, I would
Right,
think.
and we did it,
But-
and then we did WGN, which is something that you said.
I was like, were you by the river? Were you in the studio
Yeah,
by
we-
the river?
yeah, it was
like
really
you said,
cool.
when you're a kid, you go down to Chicago or whatever. Well, unless you live in Chicago, then you're already there. But if you're like me from the western suburbs, you'd go and we'd like walk around on the river. It's like see all the Christmas decorations on Michigan Avenue, and then we'd like go and like. It was like our version of the Today Show.
Right.
So we just like press our faces on the window and like watch the. But it's like so strange. Like, why are you watching people
As somebody who's hosted
broadcast radio?
It was awesome.
As somebody who's hosted like 4 shows now for WG in America, they've never taken us to Chicago.
That's
We've gone to
crazy.
New York, LA. Like
Is that the base?
WG in America is the cable station, so they're based in New York, but they have a sales team in Chicago, obviously, and they have a home office here in Los Angeles because a lot of the original programming comes through LA and that kind of situation. But I don't know anybody at like actual WGN.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
That's so cool. You did that.
It was awesome, and it was.
Did you see kids with their face?
No,
pressed to the-
it was night. It was late at night when we did it. I think the show was at 8 o'clock. Well, no, we didn't get on until 8:30.
Miss Cody.
I know. So at 8:30 we were done by like 9:15 or whatever it was, and it was really cool. And we had it's funny because there were like 8 tickets left when we went because the guy was putting us on because he was going to say. I'll help you sell the rest of the 50, 60 tickets. And he's like, how many are left? I go, 7 or 8. And he's like, oh, all right, well, it'll pretty much be sold out. It was sold out.
yeah.
There were a lot of...
And there was literally not a place to put a body.
No.
I was thinking, is this really sold out? We got there and I was like, you can.
Why did you have a body you needed to put?
No, I'm saying if anybody
could
else
eat it.
wanted to be there, and that's a good point too.
Yeah.
There was nowhere. Like
Yeah.
every corner was full.
You guys didn't even go up to the upper deck. The upper deck was
it
awesome
awesome?
and rowdy because I was doing the crowd warm up and that was filling in last, obviously, because
Yeah.
there were so many people rushing in there. I guess there was people at the bar when I ran through with the microphone,
Yeah.
and some dude stopped me and just goes, "Makuga, take a picture with me!" Like, I was like,
so
"I'm
good.
sorry, man, I'm running through." And I get up there, it was so steep up there.
I have to give credit where credit is due to the funniest line of the night.
Oh, I want it to be mine, but it's not.
You had some good stuff, and,
Is it
and
Josh?
I'm gonna give you some props because you were
Okay.
I was watching you in awe because you were like, both you and Dagnino. We'll talk in a second, but. So Makuga and I talked about the pre-show, and normally what we like to do is bring out the Schmodown Rundown guys first to warm up the crowd and do everything too. And Makuga's like, I'm gonna go up first and bring Frankie in, because they had about a half an hour. Frankie Numbers, and they have about a half an hour to do it. So I was like, okay, Makuga will do like 3 or 4 up top, bring Frankie in, then they'll do the half an hour together. So Makuga gets out there, and he's up there for 15 minutes. 16.
No, I was barely on there for 7.
Watch it. They had 13 minutes. Not watch it. No, watch it. But like watch it back.
Literally watch it with your eyes.
No, yeah, 13 minutes left is what you guys had because Thad and I were looking at each other. You just didn't know. But I'm telling you, watch it back. So that he's up there for whatever it was, 15, 16 minutes, and we're like, when's he going to bring Frank out?
Man,
and
it did not feel that long.
And we're trying to figure out what's going on.
You're a good talker.
So then finally we just.
But here's the crazy part. I went on stage at like 7:39. When I walked up, it was 8:06. So it couldn't have been that long because
Did you
Frank
use
and I.
You used 7:39. You sure it wasn't 7:30?
No, it was not 7:30 because I was looking at the clock and Thad was like, "We got to wait for sound. We got to wait for sound."
Either way, Thad and I were
sound.
looking. Thad and I were looking at each other like, when's he gonna bring him? When's he gonna bring him up? So finally, we just shove Frank on the stage. Frank doesn't know how to address him, so Frank just looks over and goes, "Hey!" like that, and the crowd looks over, and then Cam and Makuga looks back shocked. And
Were you surprised?
No, I mean I knew he was coming out, but I just
he didn't know he was coming out then, but he looks at him, and Cameron looks at me and Emma.
Cameron Rice.
Yes, Cameron Rice, our wonderful cameraman, and he goes, "That's the look of a man who thought he murdered someone and buried him in his backyard, and the guy showed up in his apartment." and when he said it, it was like they both were just staring at each other. It was.
I need to watch this pre-show, and I want to time it out because I know I was barely up there 5 minutes, and I was about to bring Frank out when he walked out because I was giving out a couple of his prints, and then he was going to walk out. I was going to give him an
The
entrance.
lady doth protest.
I would say it was right around 5 to 6.
All right.
Okay.
So, if it's
Can't we pull it up?
Here's the thing. No, because we don't.
It's a big ask. It's a big ask.
I don't think it was on camera.
Well, we have it on video.
I'm
We
just
just-
saying,
we
can't Roka or somebody out there?
No, it's a Thad question. And he's not here. But what we'll do is we'll do this, and this will be a simple bet.
Sure.
Very simple one. If it is, I'll give you 6.
Okay.
6 minutes.
Just give me 6.
If you're over 6, and I'm saying over 6:01,
Okay.
then you got to apologize to me on the air.
Okay.
If it's under 6:01, I will apologize to you
Okay.
on there.
Done
All
and
right.
done.
Okay.
Done and done.
Speaking of which, next week
I
we do
think
more.
that you shouldn't have taken that.
Yeah.
What?
Because he was saying 15,
And I'm telling you that I know that
and
I'm
you
right.
were saying 5 or 6. Why wouldn't you have said, okay, 8?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is it was. It definitely did not feel like that because the rest of the bulk of the time, again, I went on stage. I know I went on stage closer to 7:40 than I
Okay.
did. And
That's
I
the
walked
only
off at
reason why you got a
8:06.
shot, because to me,
Yeah.
I thought it started at 7:30.
Yeah, because then I ran up and down the thing, asking
Yeah.
all those trivia questions. That was a bulk of it. Then I ran upstairs, ran up and down those aisles, then ran back downstairs.
And Jay Washington came out, Chicago native,
Yes.
and crushed.
Yeah.
He was in for
I
like,
missed this.
he was on for like 3 minutes. You were prepping
Yeah.
with your team.
I know.
Yeah, but-
I was trying to get them on the same page. They are so odd.
I know, but here's the props. Here's the props where both you and Tom. There's a shot that Aaron, our editor, got from the way that the theaters. Roxy was on one side of the theater, Tom was on the other side of the theater, and they were both staring at their teams, but they were so locked in. And every time a question would get right or wrong, Roxy would either jump up in the air or and then the same thing with Tom, and they were staring at like each other at one point.
It was a Mexican stand-up.
Yeah,
It was
and
awesome.
Aaron got the shot of it. It was
How
so good.
annoying is he? Like
He comes out after every
he just,
question.
He
It's pretty
won't
funny.
stop though, and I'm as invested as he is. But I also want the spotlight to be on my boys, and he wants the spotlight to be on him. And it's like, just get off the effing stage.
He came out. To be fair, you can come out after each round.
I know,
At
and
one point,
and
he
he
went in
did.
during the round, and I grabbed him by his
Yeah.
neck and pulled him back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a lot. He's a lot.
Well, here was the best part of the crowd warm-up, which I didn't tell yesterday because I wanted you to be here, is You didn't say to me before, because I don't swear a lot, but sometimes it comes out in that thing, right? And I had a pretty good line about the Harrison Ford print, and then I come running backstage to run out in the crowd, and I look in Christian's eyes. He goes, "No swearing! There's kids out there!" And I was like, "Ah!"
Well, that's that also because. I've told people during tapings and everything too. When there's kids in the live event, we gotta. And I saw a handful of children. You took a picture with one.
Charlie, he was great.
Don't the parents know what they're bringing them to? It's not like you get.
But
Also,
it's
in terms of
unnecessary.
like
Yes
the
and
show,
no.
though, and the show's future, we just have to be more.
It just wasn't necessary.
Considerate.
And it wasn't necessary, especially when someone like Rachel Cushing, who's like our Hulk Hogan in '85,
Yeah,
not the Hulk
yeah.
Hogan of today. It's like and my 7-year-old was watching the live stream. You know, there's certain things, but
I have such a hard time with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I try so hard.
Oh, me too. I
It's
really
just
do.
in my Boston bones.
But it's not a censoring thing because it's one of those things to where it's like you let people fly, but it's just certainly there was the
I usually say like farts. Or,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
But the warm up joke it just wasn't necessary for that particular thing. But anyway, it was awesome.
I have
Everybody was
so
really
much
invested.
to talk about.
Next Monday.
Yeah.
Next Monday. That'll be one of the spoilers. That's when it's hit. But Celebration itself, the Star Wars celebration was really good this year. I think that the way that they have to deliver, and this is what I've said, and we'll talk about it kind of in depth on Jedi Council. But yeah. But the thing is, what they have to do, the fans that go, that are there for the Star Wars celebration, the opportunity, the experience, they're always going to have fun because you're just kind of immersed in that world. But what Lucasfilm and Disney has to do is they've got to put on enough story and enough news coverage, and I think that they nailed it. You
Can
kind of
I
hit it
tell
from
you
that side.
that
Yeah,
I did not make it to Star Wars Celebration?
you didn't go once.
I did not make it.
You had a badge.
I did.
And you weren't doing that WGN show. There was plenty of time.
No,
Well done, Mulligan.
I straight up, I fully intended to, and I was getting all the information in real time, and I'm watching the trailers, and I'm doing the things, and I'm keeping up with the panels, which were awesome, and I agree. But I kind of was just like, I'm in Chicago. I'm gonna get drunk and be in Chicago.
right.
So I hung
Probably a
out with
good
my
idea.
best friend from childhood who lives there now, and as we're like stopping at bars drinking, I'm like, hold on, gotta watch something.
Trailer.
Pulling my leg, watching all the stuff. I'm like, I'm at Celebration. I was like 1 mile away, never made it.
You weren't even close to Celebration.
I was so far away.
Yeah, I mean,
it was like being in LA.
But you didn't have to cover. You weren't
No,
there
I
to
didn't
cover
have to
it.
cover anything.
Yeah,
so I
see.
decided to myself, like, for the first time in forever, I'm just gonna not.
Good for you. I mean, that was the thing. It's because
I never go. I just don't get badges. That's all.
You had a badge.
I did not.
You clearly had Roxy's.
I gave mine to.
We had like 4 extra badges all weekend.
Yeah.
It was never offered.
I feel
but
like
it's
this
fine.
is rhetoric I hear a lot from Josh. Like, I didn't get a. I don't have a badge.
I didn't know.
Well, Seattle was the funny one because they all just left and they were like, "We don't have a badge for you."
Because
And it's
Dorina
just-
doesn't like you.
Yeah, correct.
Because you're not
correct.
friends with her.
Right.
She was in the happiest mood I've ever seen her. Like, at one point, when we did Jedi Council, we said something's wrong. Dorina's smiling.
Yes.
Because of
Yeah.
Reggie's.
I
She
did-
felt at home.
I felt like she was off this
did you?
weekend. I felt like
Why?
she,
Well,
Because
she's
you-
listening.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I know.
careful.
Off how?
I
Off-
love Dorina.
Off in the fact that like she seemed like she was like skipping in like a really good fun mood.
I just couldn't.
She's always fun,
I
by the way,
couldn't
I'm
get a grip on her. I
Yeah.
couldn't get a read on it. I was like, "What's up?"
I think she was stoned out of her face.
Yeah,
the
I
whole
think she
weekend.
was like
Yeah.
more than
Lit up.
normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be the lowest scoring match in the history of the Schmodown.
Yes.
But Roxy versus Dorina.
She won't play.
And Dorina also is great with
That's-
scores and soundtrack.
scores and
We
soundtrack.
take that off the wheel. That's
Right.
that's unfair.
Just-
That's like me in the 1984 Pittsburgh Steelers. You take that off the wheel. I know everything about that
Right.
team. Okay, or Bad Boys 2 or whatever. I'll manage you. You manage Dorina
Okay.
for the exhibition match.
Yeah.
We pick the categories. You guys give us 4 you want. They give whatever.
Here's what I'll tell you. I go through entire games without getting a question.
But that's fine. This could be the funniest Schmodown ever. It's the funniest Schmodown ever.
Like entire games. It's not fun to watch. Like
What's the movie about dinosaurs that came out in 1993?
Land Before Time.
Close enough.
amazing.
Look at
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
You don't know that mine's not true.
I think it was 89.
Let me see if there's a Land Before Time that did come out in 93. Hold on.
Yep,
one
yep,
second.
yep.
Oh, God, that was
Ducky. Yeah, that's
Because
good.
the first thing my mind always goes to, you know, how people are like, usually the first thing your mind goes to is the right one. Usually you're right. Mine's never right.
It goes to the wrong one.
We could call it the easiest schmodown ever. It's like when the celebrities come in and we give them some pretty layup
I
questions.
don't think
at
that
the
would be
early
fair.
on.
And this is because, like she said, she would stink at the game. Dorina, I think, actually is
Probably
doing
pretty
one of those
good.
things. Like, I don't think I'd be that good to where she actually would be pretty good.
We should get her thoughts on it because this could be a pretty fun match, like the Collider live exhibition.
I think her versus Dagnino is a better match.
Who, Roxy or
Yes.
Dorina?
No,
No,
Dagnino
Roxy.
actually
Dagnino
gets
would-
some
would
points.
smoke her, I think.
Yeah, he would smoke me.
You think so?
Totally.
I don't know.
I'd even
get-
handicap it. I'd give Tom
Christian,
like
when I
minus
say
6.
There's sometimes that
he gets some points.
There's
I get no
Yeah.
points.
All right.
It's hard to not smoke somebody who gets none of the
nothing.
points.
All right, well, that's true.
Ooh,
what happened?
just
Land Before-
missed it.
Oh.
Land Before Time was 88. Land Before Time 2, The Great Valley
92.
Adventure, 84. 94.
Which is obviously the one I was
That's what you're
referring
thinking
you were
of.
thinking of.
course,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, Land Before Time, Big Water Adventure is 2002.
Okay, this is
I could have told you that, Josh.
Yeah, duh.
This is all embarrassing. Okay, let's now we're talking about Star Wars and the big news. Obviously, the first one was Friday when that trailer dropped. You know, and we were in the room. The energy was crazy.
It was a stadium.
It was
So what's it
stadium
like?
for
Is it like
basketball.
Hall H?
Better.
Oh,
I liked it because it felt like that's where they played basketball.
For who?
Co-
Bulls?
No,
No,
it's a
Marquette.
college. Yeah, I think it was. Was it
Marquette?
I
That's
think
a
it was
Chicago
Marquette.
school.
I think so.
Marquette's in Wisconsin.
Oh, that's right.
Where,
Marquette.
what's, where,
what are you
Oh,
guys
DePaul?
trying? What are you
DePaul.
trying to come up
It was
with?
DePaul. It was
Okay,
DePaul.
speak of
That's
the
what it
Blue
was.
What are you
Devils.
trying to do?
What are we trying to do? We're gonna have a basketball game. You want to play 2 and 2?
I'm confused.
So the basketball
Arena is where they played the trailer.
Yes.
Oh,
That's awesome.
That's where it
Oh,
was.
at DePaul, I auditioned there.
Oh, well, there you go.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
That's
Well-
great. That's a very hard school to get in.
Thank you.
Well, they weren't there, but the Star Wars trailer was. But that's where they play, DePaul. So it felt like an arena. It felt like the energy was amazing.
So you're sitting in around,
Yeah, it's kind of
and it's
around.
up on the Tron.
They put they put it actually in the back on the stage
She
itself.
said Tron.
Yeah, Tron. I know.
Up on the Tron.
on the
With an
Tron.
apostrophe.
Jumbotron.
No, I know.
But they put it.
I like
They had
sports.
the full stage, and then in the background was the big ass screen that everybody saw, and then the 2 other screens
The
on
Tron.
the side.
Okay.
The mini Trons and the
Okay,
big
okay.
Tron. Yes.
Was there any kiss
Did I
cams
botch
going
that?
on?
No, you didn't. No, I'm joking that it's abbreviated.
You made it
like,
cool.
You made it cool.
Yeah, you
did.
made it cool.
The Tron.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Here we are. Here we are in the bank. You know
Here
what
we
I
are in
mean?
the bank.
I make all
So we're at the we're
I
all
used to call it that,
we're
too.
all sitting in the arena.
Dumb
In the
bag.
arena, and
Yeah.
and we
In
were
the arena?
in the arena, Arena
I see what
LaRousse.
you're
Yeah.
doing, and
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, but we
Where
were
they usually play some b-ball.
we were watching the old trails.
At at DP University. That's wrong. That's wrong.
No,
That's wrong.
it's a very different university. But we were
I
but,
get that joke.
Yeah.
But it was exactly what we
Short
thought.
days to know.
It was exactly what we thought it was going to be. It was, hey everybody, we're excited for episode 9. Here's Kathleen Kennedy. Here's J.J. Abrams, and now here's the cast. Here's some pictures. Here's some stories. Okay, got anything else for us? I don't know. You guys want to see a trailer? And then it's like, yeah, I want to see a fucking trailer. That's why we're here. So then they play. You want to play it again? Play it again. So the trailer.
They played it twice.
They played it twice. The trailer comes up. And it starts off, obviously, we've seen the damn trailer. 26 million people have already seen it, or maybe more. And Rey starts off with the saber. She says it in the panel that she got the saber back, and there's that kind of quiet breathing. She makes herself peaceful. Sounds like
I was like, wow, it sounds like an HBO show. Like,
or a late night Showtime
Yeah.
or Cinemax. Yeah.
The old real sex on HBO.
That's it. And then, she jumps over that TIE fighter, which I figure, and then it just goes into the montage.
Reverse Matrix, is it?
Yes. And at the very end of it, the laugh comes in, Palpatine comes in. Yeah. And then Ian McDiarmid walks out as the Emperor, and he just goes, roll it again. And the place loses their mind.
Oh, man, that's
they
so
play
cool.
it again, and it was a really good a good trailer. I dug it. The Rise of Skywalker has people kind of divided on whether or not they liked the title. I happen to dig the trailer. I mean, the title because
Here's the thing that confuses me about it, just a little bit,
Yeah.
is this. I mean, a lot of the tweets I saw from people was that this is the last movie in the saga.
In the saga.
right?
Yeah.
So the Rise of Skywalker would mean that we would get more movies in the saga, or at least in the spin-off, maybe. I would think it would be like the Final Jedi, or I don't know.
Can you
I'm
break
just
it down
terrible
for
at
us,
this, but,
Christian?
as far as what it means.
Yeah.
last saber.
Well, that's the magic thing is that we don't
Your thoughts,
you would
not
think last,
Yeah.
not rise.
not
Yes.
fact, just what you.
What I mean,
believe.
I don't think necessarily. There's two things that it can mean. The Rise of Skywalker could mean that they're going to do what I don't want them to do, and that's redeem Kylo Ren. And because that he's kind of really him and Leia are the last of the lineage. So that could happen. I think that Rey is going to be involved with Palpatine some way or another, whether she's the clone thing that we talked about or some way, something or another. They're going to be involved. I don't know how. But as far as the Rise of Skywalker, that could be a new name for the Jedi. It could be maybe a new thing they're going to call them. It could be
They
something.
could start calling the Jedi Skywalkers.
Skywalkers. It could be something very different. I don't know. So I'm not going to say. A lot of people think that what it does right away is it negates everything that Rian Johnson did, because Rian Johnson said in Episode 8 that anybody could use the Force, and it's not about this particular family. And then JJ's pretty much like, yeah, all right, hold my beer, and it's like Rise of Skywalker. Forget about everything you saw in 8, but I don't think that's what it was. I think that it's going to have a lot more meaning than just, it's not as plain and simple as you think it is. And that's why I think people need to relax, because I saw Bibiani lost his mind on Twitter, and he's cursing and yelling about it. But he's cursing and yelling about saying, fuck you, Star Wars, how dare you. I'm like, come on.
How dare you?
It was more or less he's just saying that it was
insulting to Rian Johnson.
What his point was, Bibiani's point was on the thing was that it was going to take everyone, all these haters of The Last Jedi, and give them merit and give them another reason to kind of go, yeah, and like start pumping their fists.
The way you just said merit sounded very Emperor.
Merit. Bibiani, get off your Twitter now.
Yeah.
Embrace what I have begun.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
But anyway, and he kind of pulled back on it a little bit. He said he let his emotion get the better of him. But I think that
Did you like it? The trailer?
loved the trailer.
Good.
Loved the trailer. And I liked the title of it, and I like where they're going with it.
Oh.
Well, you didn't?
No.
What's wrong?
I know, it's just the way you were talking about it sounded like you didn't dislike the title, you didn't want to have any judgment, but you're saying you loved the title.
Loved it. Loved the title and loved the
Great.
trailer. I think that
Great.
it looks like the Star Wars movie that I wanted.
I have a strange issue I can't find a single other person in the world that has, and I don't know whether I'm crazy or
Oh,
thought-
the internet's gonna let you know.
no,
Yeah,
they're
you-
definitely going to tell me. And
Land Before the
they're
Time.
They're going to be pissed at me.
What'd you do?
The second one.
The second.
Her commitment.
I
That's why she gets
struggle
into
with
Nepal.
Daisy Ridley's movements.
Why?
She has weird body movements.
Really?
And I can't stop watching it. It's like a strange
Avatar?
The way her posture is and the way she moves, I can't.
A slight slouch, but not much.
So much,
Really?
Kristian. So much. And I can't. Once I noticed it, I
Can't not see it.
Stop.
I'll tell you this:
She's-
it bothers me not a bit.
Yeah, I haven't met one other person. And
I really like her.
Yeah, me too.
her facial expressions are great. She's a very talented actress. I just want her in a close up all the time. There's something about her in the wide that is
Bothers you?
yes.
Does it bother you at all?
No, I mean, what
Never
bothers me
noticed.
is how skinny she is.
She's not
Jeez.
that skinny.
Oh
Maybe,
my god, I
maybe
think
that's
she's,
part of it.
She's
Like,
muscular.
she can't hold herself
She can't-
up because
she
she's
isn't
No, she's muscular.
I
she's
kinda
all
disagree on
muscles.
that.
Oh, she's not that skinny.
Yeah,
Listen.
I agree with you.
No, I don't mean like she shouldn't be that skinny. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to body
I
shame.
know
I'm
what
saying
you're
like
saying.
me personally. I'm like, oh wow, women still come that skinny.
I see what you're saying. You're saying she. Yeah.
Yeah.
you're
like,
coming
doesn't
from a
have-
jealous perspective,
Yeah,
and I
kids.
feel you.
No,
I-
I feel like she's got an insane body.
She's ripped.
Oh,
Yeah.
as-
Ripped.
not in a bad way. I literally do feel like she had a hard time. There's something about her when she comes.
Really? I don't-
Yeah, you gotta look at it.
She's
Okay. Well, you won't be here when she comes into the interview.
No, I think she's very, very talented, but I can't stop
This
watching
bothers
it.
you. This happens sometimes.
And in the trailer, there was some times where, like the way she.
Moves?
Yes.
Wow.
Her movements.
Now I have to
Okay.
watch this to see these movements
don't
and
see
then
it.
completely disagree with you.
Yeah. I think,
Every person in the world disagrees with
with
me.
you.
I have literally not
this,
met one.
This is why I love you, because it doesn't matter. You're
does-
going to
I
say
don't
whatever the hell.
disagree. Yeah.
You're like, what's that stupid movie that you like that everyone hates?
Life Itself,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Oh man, I watched it on the plane.
Stinks,
You
right?
did?
Yeah.
Does it stink?
Oh my god.
It's awful.
It's amazing.
Horrendous. No, after about an hour and 10 minutes, I was like,
Oh, you didn't even get to the best part.
I
When it was
Roxy,
over?
that hour and 10 minutes was a train wreck
Yeah.
of awful.
I don't understand that. I don't understand
I
that
mean,
viewpoint.
it
It's so
is-
crazy. That movie is so mind-blowingly good and powerful.
I'm gonna put my wife on this
Yeah, put her
I
on
want
it.
to see, because it's tailor made for her to like,
Mm-hmm.
and if she thinks it stinks, then we're gonna have problems, Roxy.
It's so good.
All right,
Oh,
fine.
it's so beautiful.
What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the other thing though that a lot of people did not see, but the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Give me the Mandalorian all day. I love the
Right.
episode 9 trailer. Throw it to the side. Give me
You
Mandalorian
would rather watch Mandalorian than Episode 9.
all
Be honest with yourself.
All-
Be honest with me.
all day. I'll tell you why, because I saw it. And I saw the trailer, and I've already felt that way going into
10
it.
minutes of footage, right?
Dude, they showed a couple of things. They showed a behind-the-scenes
Kate.
featurette that I think everyone saw,
Cheers,
right?
everyone.
Did the featurette? No, the featurette, no one saw the featurette
No,
either.
no.
No one saw any of it. The featurette itself...
They haven't released any footage, just
Dude,
a couple
they're going
pictures.
back to models, like that's something like Noble did, and they're going back to the actual models. And Filoni and Favreau said at one point, "Let's try to experiment on." You know, remember how they used to show how Episode 4 was made with all the models, and like, let's try to do that once. And then they told people they were starting to do it, and then like teams started to form, like started wanting to do it more, and the meetings started getting bigger because they wanted to do it, and they showed test footage of how it looks, and it's old school shit, right?
That's awesome.
And then, but it's also made, and Favreau said it. This one, for example, when what's
It
that
takes
new-
place 3 years after Jedi, right?
I think it's
Is that
5
years after Jedi.
So
okay.
the Resistance, by the way, that animated show that came out, I said it's made for children. It's made for the 6 or 7 year olds. Star Wars has gotten to a place, Forces of Destiny, right? It's gotten to a place where you can make certain shows for different audiences. And they did Mandalorian. Favreau makes it pretty clear this was made for the OT audience, and that's not to say you won't like it if you just like the prequels or
What's
the new
OT
trilogy.
stand for?
Original trilogy.
Okay.
I got something faster than
Yeah,
Josh.
that's
done.
true.
I
I was
thought
like
old
the
trilogy.
original Trankster.
Yeah, no, sorry, the original trilogy.
I was with you. I
Thank you,
did
Roxy.
it.
You did it. But
Yeah.
The
but they
original
sho-
Tron.
Yeah.
But then they showed a scene.
Are
Go
you
ahead.
really being serious?
I
though?
swear, Roxy, it was so
But in
awesome.
a month, are you going to feel that way still?
100%. Because here's why. Because Game
Doesn't
of
come out
Thrones.
till November, too.
But Game of Thrones solidified it for me because like Game of Thrones, I'm on the edge of my seat, like waiting for next week.
Yeah.
Right. Mandalorian, they showed me a scene and a trailer, and I'm like, give me that series today.
Yeah.
It's like because I know that I'm gonna be with that series. I'm gonna learn more. I don't have any expectations as far as the characters and what the characters are gonna do because they're brand new, and they showed stuff as Pedro Pascal he's in the outfit. He's walking through, and you see. I don't want to ruin it for people, but you see kind of an old school type of character. Something's happening to them, and then he gets into the scene. He sits down with Carl Weathers, which is amazing. And did I tell you what he did when he came out?
No.
He came out, hit the stage when they're announcing him, and he goes, "I want you, I want you, I want you." Apollo
that's
Creed style. It was amazing. But he sat
man.
down. He's the guy who runs the bounty hunters, and he gives Pedro Pascal or the Mandalorian. He gives him the mission, and he goes off on this mission. But then he sits down with Werner Herzog, who's like this old imperial.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Warner
but-
Herzog said it.
And he's like, but it's like the Imperials were always based off the Nazis. They always were, and the Emperor Hitler, And I'm sure she's a huge Emperor fan over at Yard House.
Woodruff. Oh, yeah, Yard House.
But the point is that 5 years later they're all on the run. The same way that after World War II was over, all the Nazis were trying to get out, and there were war crimes and stuff too. But Werner Herzog's trying to get the Empire back in power. And he's got like these rogue stormtroopers with him, and he's having this conversation for a mission for the Mandalorian to go out and say, bring this person back that are alive. And then there's this doctor who's just like, no, we need him alive. And he's like, you'll get less money if he's dead, but either way. And then they show what's his name, Fringe from Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, yeah.
He's like one of the
Guns
main
Fring.
Empire guys. They show like this montage. He's burning down villages with stormtroopers. It's dark.
Was
and
it 10 consecutive minutes you saw?
Well, the scene itself was probably like 5 minutes, maybe 5 or 6, and then they had the trailer, which is probably 2, so maybe anywhere between 7.
But they haven't released the trailer yet.
No, they haven't. And then people think it's IG-88, and it could be, but I just think it was an IG droid to where it's a shooting in the village. Gina Carano is fighting, and she's
How
got
was
like
her acting?
you don't really see her acting. You see her kicking ass, and that's what
Is she
she's there
good?
to do.
She's Rebel, right?
She is an ex-rebel who's working with the Mandalorian now. Dude, she has a Jesse Ventura Predator type gun,
No
but it's
way.
shooting blaster. I'm telling you,
that's
this show
amazing.
looks insane,
jazzed.
and the music was phenomenal. Same composer from Black Panther.
It's like Jon Favreau. In Jon Favreau we trust, right? He's had like maybe 2 misses in his career, right?
And he's a diehard fan. He's a diehard fan.
Yeah. I mean, and when this got announced, I said to you, first thing I said to you, I was like, listen, I'm not the diehard Star Wars fan. Like, I haven't read the books, all this kind of stuff. Well, I still like The Mandalorian. You're like, guaranteed you'll love The Mandalorian.
Love this show. So this is going to look like just great television.
What's your deal, though?
What's-
Like, why?
what's
Just
the
in
deal?
general. Go ahead and answer
Yeah.
that. What's your deal?
Yeah.
Why can
Treat
you
yourself.
watch this trailer
Yes.
and pitch this show and talk about it this highly, but other trailers, you don't know, you haven't seen the show yet?
You asked me if do I think it's going to win an Emmy? I have no idea. It could have won an Emmy, sure, I guess, but I don't know if it's
That's
going to win
more
an
than
Emmy.
you gave me before.
Well, what do you want me to do?
You do think it will be nominated?
I don't know. I haven't seen the show. But do I think there's completely different questions as far as do I think this show will deliver? Yes. After what I've seen, it felt OG. It felt like they were going to the.
I know OG.
But it did. It felt like that. And
Oppenheimer Group.
Yeah, Oppenheimer Group, yes.
But it was the enthusiasm from everyone on the panel. I believe Filoni to me is the guy. That's another reason why I want this
He's
show.
been here before. Dave Filoni's come in, right, now?
I've interviewed him a handful of times.
Right.
But Filoni is the guy. He was trained by Lucas during Clone Wars,
right.
And he just is he's a guy you want to trust to do live action with Favreau, and they're buddies. They've been talking. They've been really going over what this thing's going to be. It's going to tie in. Now, from what I heard, it's funny because they announced November 13th is when this thing comes out. I think Plus in general, right? And then I had not heard that they were going to put it all one shot,
right?
But Ken told me that they announced that.
What does that mean?
Like
binge. Like you can binge it all as opposed to week to week.
Oh,
that's what Ken.
They're dropping Mandalorian at once.
You know, it's fun. I didn't hear that, but Ken told me that's what they said, and so then we started saying in the video. But then people said they didn't announce that, and I was so I don't know. I don't know if that's confirmed yet, but
I don't.
Everybody's going to be sick from November 13th to the 15th.
It's gonna be
Like everybody's
crazy.
calling out sick right now. I'm going to be
it's
sick
true.
in
It's like
November.
walking in like a-
I don't think that's the smartest move for them.
Really?
Not that it matters what I think at all, and they're going to do what they want.
I would venture to disagree with you on that one.
Really?
you should get a 10-hour movie.
Yeah, and what you do is you just pull the rug right from under Netflix with all their announcements, all the
Big
series,
shot.
just big shot to Netflix, just boom, take them right out. Like this is how
That's
you binge.
that's why I don't think it's the right call for them, because for any of these shows that you are dropping right now, the Netflix model, you're not talking about them in a few weeks. Everybody's talking about them, then they're done. I think it's smarter. What is it, Hulu, that drops the first 3 episodes and then one
Keeps
a
it
week?
going.
I think that you don't need to just do one, but if you drop the first few and then it has a little more longevity, especially if you're trying to get people to sign on to a streaming service, and not just do the 1 week trial with that cancellation or whatever it is.
Right, well,
I don't think it's the smartest move.
I understand
I
the
know you
logic
disagree.
behind it.
Yeah,
I understand
no.
the logic behind it, but there's a couple of reasons why I think the logic's actually pretty sound. But the only reason that I would push back against it is one, because Star Wars isn't something that just kind of goes away. It'll stay for a little bit. The other thing is that they have Marvel series they're going to put out. They had this Lady and the Tramp
And
stuff.
episode 9 is like a month later.
Yes, and the other thing that they announced, the big thing that I don't know if you guys really got into it yesterday, was Disney Plus announced their price.
Oh, it's awesome.
$6.99 for their price point. There's no way it's going to stay that cheap for that long. But $6.99 to start.
And
Yeah.
for the year, $69.99.
Crazy
for the year.
Now that's crazy. But the other thing that they said that I thought was the most brilliant thing, and the reason why they're going to get people to sign up, even if you give a shit about Mandalorian or not. So when Avengers Endgame comes out on Blu-ray, say on that Tuesday, it goes right up on the streaming service. It goes right on the service,
gigantic.
so you don't have to buy it. You don't have to rent it. If you subscribe for that $6.99, every Disney release that comes out from any Marvel movies, any Star Wars movies, anything, plus all their back catalog, you get. Dude, there's no chance that thing stays at $7.
I guess there goes the Disney Movie Club I'm in for my son.
You need it out. You don't need it.
That's
You
not
don't need
happening
it.
anymore.
Yeah.
Cheaper than DC's, which is bizarre.
Because they know that
They
they
have the
can do
money.
it, and they know that by doing
And also
it,
Disney can subsidize the losses they're going to take on that other places.
because the thing
they're
is,
Disney.
and
You know?
it's also because they're properties that they have. Like look, Endgame. It's a chance that Endgame's makes $1 billion opening weekend worldwide.
Yep.
Just dump that. Take that $1 billion and use it all for Plus.
Sure.
Yep.
And then we'll take week 2 and do something else with that.
It's the best by far.
Yeah.
Disney is the best by far. What they've managed to do, it's unbelievable.
The business. It's crazy.
Here's my argument with your Hulu argument, though, with like the release of the thing, is with a streaming service.
He's not done arguing.
Sorry,
I know.
I just want to, because you kind of jumped at me.
Pause. Who jumped at who, Christian? Be honest.
I don't think there was a jump in
I
general.
don't think anybody
you were
jumped.
like,
I
I,
don't
know
think
you
there's a jump.
disagree.
I'm
You
also
kinda
here.
jumped
I
at
was
me.
in the
jumped.
middle of talking, and then you were like, here's why I disagree. I hadn't even said my point yet.
Here's the problem: is that with Hulu, you don't know.
That's true.
You go on a
The
streaming
Matrix
service
out
to
of here.
binge. You want it to all be there. You don't want to have to keep going back to like, when's that episode come out? Because they don't advertise when the episode comes out. They don't do it.
You don't want.
No. People who go to streaming services.
I'm a person. I go to streaming services.
I understand that, but the binge of it all is the reason we have the streaming services.
Let's see. What do we have next here?
Just saying.
Oh,
don't
looks
agree
like
with
we
that.
have
Kate,
By
how
all
are
means.
you? But I like this. Is you want to see more of this? You can just go to TV Talk.
Yeah.
This is what they do.
Oh my God! We
Fights?
had a hypothetical question
Oh.
fan
One of 'em.
come to Schmodown.
Oh, and they
Talk
liked
to
it.
Roxy. Did not say anything
Oh,
to
didn't
me.
like
so
you.
it's fine, yeah.
Oh, and I got a great gift from a Schmodown fan. It's in my bag. I meant to bring it in here today, but it's over there.
I got quite a few, but
Cool story,
Alex,
Ansel.
You gave it to me. It's the book.
Oh yeah, the book.
It's actually a
it
cool
was a
story.
parenting book about how to
I saw
raise
that.
kids.
I saw
It's
that.
unreal. I'll show you guys.
I have a
later.
couple of them, and I don't want to debut them to next week because Alex, he actually took a bunch of the gifts, and then Copster has them too. But Copster's not back yet, also stuck. But let's go back to those we lost in the snap, Riley and Thad and all them. Riley, by the way, because that's pretty cool and calm when it comes to this kind of stuff. You know, it's like he's like, I'll be back Wednesday morning. I figured out, and he connects, does his thing. Riley just can't. Poor Riley. He just Riley and I mean. And just wait if you want to know to see what kind of level of frustration. You just check his Twitter, and if he's pissed, like I've seen him go. He goes after he'll go after his landlord on Twitter. He goes after he'll go after whoever. He goes after
Uber.
It doesn't matter.
Everybody.
Yeah, Uber.
his fiance.
Yes.
McDonald's took his burger too long. He's
Yeah.
he's hitting
Oh
him.
wow!
And so
he seems like such a jolly fella.
but he is. But you just don't piss him off.
No.
Yeah.
And American Airlines.
a flip.
American Airlines was shit though. They were.
I've heard.
I
Shit.
am so grossed out
Yeah,
by how they've handled this.
They're pretty awful.
I'm
They're
so
pretty awful.
upset with it. I like to the point where I wish I could just stop flying them.
I know.
I'm so upset with how they've handled the
It was
situation.
so bad because it made no sense to where
A lot of the other airlines were getting out.
I know.
But a lot of them, a lot of the flights got canceled and because of weather, and that happens. You know, what I mean, it happens. So what the airline should be responsible, my opinion, is the airline should be responsible for finding you a flight out immediately, and if they can't, to put you up at a
That's
hotel
right. Yeah.
until then it's their policy. Well, it's weather, you figure it out.
My email just said,
Turds.
we looked to see if we could place you on another flight. We cannot.
That was that.
That was the
horrible.
email they actually sent me.
Right, and they
So what,
responded.
I'm here forever?
Right. Well, they responded
We
because
cannot.
I put out
We
on
cannot.
after a
No.
while because they screwed
You
over.
live here now.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Well, they screwed over RB3. They screwed over Cameron. They screwed over Riley. They screwed over everybody. And I kept hearing about it. And I'm like, you know what? I see everybody tweeting out about it. And I'm like, I don't normally do that, but I'm like, I'm going to do it too because my whole crew's getting screwed here. And all of them, not one person being handled terribly. Everybody's
And I
handled
hope
terribly.
you don't mind,
The
but
entire
like us,
O'Hare.
me saying this, us getting screwed is really you getting screwed.
Yes.
It's not.
I had to put everybody up at hotels.
Yeah,
You know,
everybody.
yeah, and it's like, and because Collider did not fly everybody out there. I did on Schmodown. Like, and so I had to do that, and I put everybody up, and then once that happened, I was one of the screwed. So the airline should be, stupid American Airlines should be sending me, but I was more concerned about people
Well-being.
getting, everyone was getting screwed over. So I said, I tweeted out, look, I got to be honest, American Airlines has handled this terribly, rude, awful. And then they, of course, because I had X amount of people retweeted and I have a certain amount of followers, they're like, oh, well, that's not normally how we are. So we're sorry you had this experience. That was it. Is basically I'm doing damage control as opposed
And
to...
the least amount of damage control possible.
Ever.
Yeah,
by
I don't
sending
think
it
any
back
damage
to-
was controlled by that.
No, it was just them looking, going, you're lying, and then hiding under a pillow.
And there was nowhere to go, nothing to do. I was on hold for 4 hours.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Because I can't get to them.
Tweet at American Airlines and tell them
Amanda
you handled at the Schmodown people terrible.
Amanda called in the morning because I was like, help me out on this one, whatever. So we got a flight. But Amanda was on hold and then they just hung up on her like 3 times.
They were
Yeah,
they were,
I
they're
requested
awful.
the
They are
call back.
awful.
It was brutal, and also so I ended up being canceled.
Hold on, just a second. This show brought to you by American Airlines. We're actually, I take it back. American Airlines, great airline. They've been working on it a lot, and they're back. No, I'm just
American
kidding. They're
Airlines.
fucking turds.
We won't fly you places, but we will screw you over.
Turds.
I was supposed to leave on Sunday at 4. I had a shoot that night in LA. Obviously, I missed it. Not only did I not leave then, the flight was canceled. They moved me to a 6. That flight was canceled. They moved me to a 10. That flight was canceled. I was like, can you move me to a flight tomorrow? Because you keep moving me to the next flight, and it keeps
Right.
getting canceled. And I keep having to get in the Uber, go back to the hotel. The whole
disaster.
thing was such a disaster. So finally, they're like, yeah, they put me on a flight the next day. over 24 hours after my flight was supposed to take. I get to the airport, that flight's delayed a couple hours. So it was just like the whole thing.
It's a nightmare.
And I couldn't even complain because we still have people who are stuck getting back Wednesday. But I was on hold 4 hours of my life, just like, all right, I guess I'll just sit here and wait because there's nothing I can do.
There's only one great thing to really come out of this, though. Riley's rant on this thing is going to be legendary. It is going to be sound bites galore.
I'm going to get a drink. I'm going to bring a drink.
It's going to be popcorn. Put your fist to your chin and
He's
just
still
listen
not
to the.
back. He's still not back.
No, he's going to be miserable, and he's going to. And when he really remember the time when he went off on Chili's.
Oh yeah,
he's going to go off on American Airlines.
Oh my God, Riley.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So
I wish
that's the sentence. Remember when he went off on Chili's? Like everything I need to know right now.
Remsen, do you? I know this is probably. I know the answer to this question, but do you happen to have access to the soundboard?
Yeah, I think so.
If you can find any of Riley's rants, I think that just so Kate can hear the screaming. I think that this is not a big fucking deal.
It's not a big fucking deal.
Because you never heard Riley scream.
No.
You know, it's amazing.
John Wick.
Yeah, if you can find it, Remsen, let me know.
I've known Riley since.
It's not a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
That's real.
That's us
real.
making fun of his fingernails because he doesn't trim his fingernails.
Sometimes when he doesn't, it's magical. And it looks like a magical creature, like trying to.
Oh wait, but he was really that
kill
was
unicorns
him
in the
He looks
forest.
like Liev Schreiber in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
In a good way.
In a good one.
Sure. Depending on how you look
as
at
JT would say.
Yeah.
Lieb Schreiber.
So good.
Let's switch over. I know you guys talked about it yesterday for a little bit on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I think that Roxy and I. Have you watched the episode yet?
Duh.
Okay.
Are you kidding? But I was so.
You haven't seen it yet?
No, I didn't. I have
hell's
another
wrong with you? What do you
job.
have, children?
I have children. I have another job, and my parents are in town visiting.
So you couldn't do it. All right.
It's
Well,
a-
we're not going to
Brutal.
spoil anything.
Well, also my husband has been out of town since Wednesday.
Okay.
And I have to wait for him.
All right.
Yeah,
see?
that's the
So
other
you're not
thing.
just going to fly off if you
I'm
get
not
a better
just-
deal.
That's right.
Yeah, that was insane.
That was insane.
I
That guy
couldn't
is
believe that.
Amazing.
Awesome.
But it was pretty awesome that the guy just left.
Yeah. That's great.
Game of Thrones, no spoilers here for everybody who hadn't seen it yet or you've not caught up yet. We're not going to spoil. I would just say that the one complaint that I've seen from people, there's two complaints that I've seen from people.
It's too short.
Well, the too short part of it, we knew we were
that's
getting
not
into
even
it.
one of the two
No,
complaints.
it's not one
Oh.
of the two. The two complaints, the one was that
three complaints.
there's something in particular that happens inside of the episode. We'll just say with Jon Snow, okay? And people were complaining about, well, in the books, they don't set this up. And in the books, the rules are actually, they say this. And in the books, I'm like, this ain't the fucking books.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'll say it off air because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But this is not the books.
We don't
It was
have
not-
books
There were
left.
certain rules that were not set up in the television series, and it just is. I was okay with these things, and I have no complaints. That's why I tweeted it out. And some people that don't read the books were like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Good, then you enjoyed the episode. You enjoyed that part. The other,
Do you know what he's talking about?
I think I have an idea. Yeah.
so the other thing,
Oh.
the other
okay.
thing that I would say,
So that does not happen in the books.
It's when Jon Snow ejaculates into the
Yeah,
air.
well, this part of the
Straight up.
yes, this part of the books is not, we're not even caught up yet.
Right,
but it's
but-
just certain things that, as far as why certain things are allowed to happen, right?
Okay.
But the other thing was that it was all set up.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to look at this very similar to what we just said with Mandalorian. This is a 6 hour, or not even 6 hour, 6-part film.
Yeah.
that
It's
is
close to 8
closing
hours.
out. I don't want a battle and all this craziness
right.
happening in episode 1. I
Right.
want these are the stakes, these are the teams. That's your coach. That's your coach. Play ball.
Yeah.
Did I see a couple holes? Sure.
Yeah.
But were they glaring? No.
Can I
No.
be honest? I saw no holes. I thought this episode was perfect.
I
Great.
see no holes.
I see no holes. It's
a problem.
I love this.
I'm sorry for both of
What are you, an alien?
Call my doctor. Dr. Grant, I see no holes. So
I don't know where to
Really?
put this. I see no holes.
Really hot, but there was one problem.
What's this from? What's this from? Wow. What a hole.
What is that?
It's when-
Happy Gilmore.
No.
No.
I'm doing it again.
Land
one more
Before Time 2.
2. What's the name of it?
The great adventures escape
pretty close, I
to
think.
the other land.
It's when Daniel Stern falls through the hole in Home Alone 2. And he
Oh.
looks up and he just, wow. What a hole.
Yeah, I can't. It's a great soundbite. But I really liked the episode a lot.
So
It set it up so well.
And all of the not talking about who, but people seeing each other who hadn't seen
Right.
It was a reunion episode.
The reunions. I had all the feels.
Yeah.
I wanted this, and the closing moment.
Were you caught up?
I was caught
Okay.
up, and I love it. I have to say, I didn't read the Game of Thrones books, but I did. I was a big Lord of the Rings I loved the books.
You missed Sean Astin in here. He was in here yesterday.
I was supposed to hang
Are
out
you
with him
doing it?
also. Missed
No,
that.
right
He
after
was in
you
here
left.
yesterday.
Right after you
No,
left.
no.
No.
Cody,
please make that a bit when
You have to
you
understand.
come
You
back.
have to
He came in at
understand.
2:30, so you had to wait like 3 or 4
Literally,
hours.
I put together a Sean Astin. This is before, like, oh my God, when I was in college, I did a monologue where they're like bringing a monologue. So I took all
Rudy.
of my Rudy.
Goonies.
Don't you guys see? Don't you guys see? The next time you see Sky, it's gonna be over some other town. The next time you take a test, it'll be in another school. Our parents, they want the best of stuff for us, but it's our time. It's our time down there, and it's their time.
good.
It's their time up there.
good.
And then I went into the Rudy speech. I mean, the way
love
I
him.
love Sean Astin. Anyway,
yeah.
that all being said, I was so into the Lord of the Rings books, and I loved the movies. But as somebody who experienced the books first, and like
Took
I
it away a little bit.
understand.
Yeah.
Well, I understand why like. You have the problem is like you can imagine everything in your own
Sure.
head, or you like there's certain rules that get set up.
This
or
was a little
there's
different though, but this is because I agree with you because
Yeah.
that's why I stopped reading the Harry Potter books because I had watched
just
I had
gonna
read
say.
3 or 4 of them and then every time I saw the movie I was just like, wait a minute, these movies are good and why aren't I enjoying them as much as I should?
I read
Because
the
I had
books.
so much with the books.
Yeah.
This is different. This is something where there are certain things, rules that were set up in because the books have not caught up yet
Right,
to
right.
the movies. So there are things that are just set up as far as
the
lore
show.
in the books that were not set up in the show, but the fans of the books were like, well, if you go back into the books, that shouldn't have happened because of this. I'm like, well, they didn't set that up in the TV show, and I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
it's like it's fine.
No, I understand. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it obviously doesn't ruin the show for
Yeah,
most people.
but I understand.
Yeah.
I get it. Like when you're locked in, but I dug it.
Back to Sean Astin.
Yeah,
I know.
he's cool.
Well, he was on-
so
he was on Schmoes.
when he came in,
A couple times.
when he came in, he looked at me. He's like, "You were Schmoes."
Oh,
And
that's
he
great.
remembered right away. He's
Yeah.
like, Toad Hop. What's happened with Toad Hop? It's like that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and
Sure.
he
Thank
was.
you, American Airlines, for having me miss that interview too.
know.
Appreciate
Well,
it.
that was-
Well,
that
we
wasn't even
didn't
alive.
do it. We just did. Frosty did a full.
Riley asked me to come in for it.
He had to do a pre that we could potentially put on here, but then it just didn't work. Out.
No, so we did a top 5 movies with him, which was really cool. His top 5 movies, which I ran, and then he did an interview with Frosty. But
Were
he
you
was the
surprised by
coolest
them?
dude. Yeah, totally. But he's such a film
He's a
fanatic
political
that
guy,
it was
too.
awesome. But he is tied for number 1 is like one of our favorite movies,
What is
which
it?
is well, we want to wait to release
Okay.
the video.
Okay.
But and then when he walked out, I was like, that was great. And
Airborne?
Airborne is definitely it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a great rollerblading movie from the 90s, just so you know.
Life itself.
It was not life itself.
You don't know that.
So
That's
what I
the
said,
Rudy
I know
Who's
when I
the composer?
John, no, I know this. I know the composer.
Come on, get there, Kate. Get there, Kate.
5.
Kate.
Four.
Goldsmith.
First name?
John.
No.
Samwise Gamgee.
Come on,
Jeff.
Come on,
You
his
can
his
get
first
there.
name's
Come
clearly
on.
the same as the comedian.
Jerry
There.
Goldstein Smith.
Oh, you had Smith. Jerry Goldsmith Smith. Jerry Goldsmith Smith.
Jerry Goldstein Smith.
Jerry
Yeah.
Goldsmith.
So he comes in and we're talking. I was like, "So you're going to do your top 5 movies?" And I was like, "Rudy better be in there because it's in my top 5." Everybody's like, "Oh, you're too kind," and like put his hand on my shoulder. I was like, "It's bringing Rudy."
That's Rudy. It's true.
It's the best. Just the best. Yeah.
Your face right now is amazing.
Her face is always amazing.
But no, but
Thank you.
she's just kind of. What
She's
was going?
beat for the
were you-
gods.
what was going through your head right now? Were you thinking about other things, or were
I
you
was
like
thinking
legit?
about Roxy's dimple is what I was thinking
You
about.
want to live in those dimples?
I
is
want
what
to
you
live
said.
in that dimple.
Yeah. What were you thinking? Were you just kind of dazing off a little bit because you were so
I'm
tired?
wondering why Josh and I aren't seeing eye to eye this episode.
About anything?
About what?
I don't know. I just am not
Of
feeling-
TV.
I was just looking at you, wondering like I didn't
Why
want
do
to.
I hate him
I
so
don't
much?
want. No, definitely not that. But I didn't want to speak and contribute to the conversation because I didn't want to
Get into
step
another
on
fight?
it. Yeah.
What was the fight?
But
gonna
you
be?
don't like Rudy.
No, I do.
You don't like Sean Astin.
No, I do.
What the hell's the
Yeah.
point?
What's going on?
No, just every time I feel like I'm tat today. Like we're like
She said
zig
tit.
and zag.
I'm tit.
Yeah.
She's tat.
You were
I think
doing-
it should be
you-
the
you
flip.
were
but-
doing- you were doing
so
Daisy
I was
Ridley
gonna
moments.
I was gonna play into something he said, but then I was like, I'm gonna let him have his moment so I don't get yelled at.
Okay.
So that's my face was like
by who? Me?
Yeah.
not
feel like
yelled
there's
at
a
like
lot of-
loudly,
yeah.
yelled, but like
You
Well,
guys-
say what you want to say because now
Yeah,
you're
say
burying
it.
the
no,
lead.
I don't know what it was anymore.
Oh.
It was something small, but that's the face that
But-
you saw me. It was like a
Should I say this?
What a hole.
yeah, kind of like that, kind of like that.
Oh man. And with that, I think that's the show. Guys, it was a lot of fun here today. It was an hour. Remsen, you can play the theme song. It is an hour of fun between myself, Roxy Stryer. There we go. Roxy Stryer, Kate Mulligan, Josh McCouga. Are we gonna have a 2-hour show tomorrow? I don't know. I'll let you know when we get here tomorrow. But Roxy will
everyone
be
back?
back. A lot of us are back. I
Supposedly.
think we'll see. I don't know who you're going to get, but you'll figure it out tomorrow when you turn on your computer. Thank you to Kate Mulligan.
Thank you for having
Josh,
me.
Oh, one other thing, guys, to let you guys know that the Mazeless Fund. Mazeless,
Mazel.
right?
Well, like it's
Mazeless. I see it. The Mazeless
Juice?
fundraiser. Yeah, it is going to be. Tell me a little bit about it, Kate. Because
So
Jamie Kaler.
it's Jamie Kaler's gonna be headlining. Ellis is gonna be doing a set for us. It's the day you guys get back from Houston. But
Awesome.
it's a 5 o'clock show. Anyway, if you go to Eventbrite, you can just search for the Mazeless. It's like marvelous, but Mazeless fundraiser.
Well, there you
You
go.
can search it and find it. It's a fundraiser for my son's preschool, but it's a full-on comedy show
That's cool. Yeah,
with
Ellis-
dinner at Flappers.
Ellis
in
will be
Burbank.
there,
Yeah.
and Jamie Kaler. Really
And
cool.
I'm
guy.
hosting and doing a set up
Oh,
front.
fun.
Awesome.
No
Well,
way.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to see that.
Because you don't do that anymore, right?
I don't know. There's
Yeah.
a very good reason, and anybody that's there will
Oh, you
find
got to
that
hear
out.
the Ray Romano story about him doing stand up at his kid's school. He's like, I bombed. And he's like, if you're going to go in there, you got to go in there with 90 to 95.
I'm actually doing bits about the kids at the school.
Good,
so.
good. Hot bits.
All right, listen. So that's going to be the show here for today. So make sure you check us out tomorrow. Collider Live. You can Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, do it all, and subscribe to this channel.
Just start making up services.
Just whatever. AppleTomatoes.org.net.
You can watch it on the Tron.
On the Tron.
Go to the
Watch
Tron,
it on the Tron.
and we see
What's
Deathlook
that
from the
face?
Strider.
You can check in weekly on Hulu to check out each episode you
We'll,
want.
we'll see you
On the
next
Hulu.
tomorrow.